Hello everybody! Benedictatorr here with part 9 of my beginner's guide to the Bioshock Any speedrun. And in this video we'll be going over Rapture Central Control. So this level is mostly just like a story level. There's no combat. There's just some movement and some like cutscenes. But we're going to skip all the cutscenes. And we're going to do that by doing a level warp. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this to go back to Hephaestus. But before that, we're going to go to our audio diary menu and just play any radio message. Not an audio diary, a radio message. So I'm going to click that, escape the menu, and walk backwards and hit that door and walk out before that closes. And we're going to turn around and go this way. So what that's going to do is, after a certain amount of dialogue plays, it's going to warp us back to the previous level. But we're going to do some tomfoolery to help us skip some cutscenes. So what we're going to do, so there's an invisible wall right here that I'm like jumping. I'm holding them forward, but we can't go past this. We can jump over that invisible wall, however, by jumping on top of this vending machine. And this vending machine has like some wonky geometry, and it can be kind of annoying to hop up on top of this, but just after some practice you'll sort of get a feel for it. So there's sort of like two ledges on this thing. There's this little piping that's on the side of it. There's sort of a ledge that we can jump on top of that part, and then we can jump on top of the upper part as well. Sometimes if you jump just right, you can get on top of the upper part in one jump, but usually it's going to be a hop like that. I'm on top of it. It's hard to tell. Oh, fell off it. Yeah, so I'm on those, and it's pushing me backwards. I don't know if you can see that. It's pushing me backwards, so you don't have forever. But you hop on top of this part, and then you hop on top of that part. And you don't want to like hold in forward like you're trying to run. You kind of just want to tap it and just do kind of like a small little jump forward. And then like same thing when you get up on top of here, a small jump forward. Like, and even when you get up on top of here, if you move wrong, it'll like yeet you off the edge like that. So just be careful with your movement. But yeah, after you get up on top of this, then you can jump over the invisible wall. And if you take too long, the invisible wall will go away. It's like right there. And now that a certain amount of dialogue, like once the dialogue happens where this place starts falling apart, the invisible wall is like now gone. But I'll kind of show you if you make it fast enough, you can jump on top and over the invisible wall.
Look around. It's a regular convention of worms in here. They all had mothers, fathers, people who loved them. They got married, fucked their wives.
There we go, and I'm on top of the invisible wall here, and then you can just walk right over it, and you're on the other side. So there you go. That's how you get over the invisible wall. Like I say, if you take too long, you just walk through it. Not a big deal. But you do want to move fast enough, because if you take too long, then you'll get warped out before you have a chance to do what we're trying to do here. So anyways, now that we get through this tunnel, when you drop through, you're going to want to play some radio messages. We want this door to unlock. And after a certain radio message is finished playing, that door will unlock. But we can make that happen earlier through some dialogue manipulation. So there are two messages that we want to play before this door in front of us opens up. The first one is this one, Andrew Ryan, A Time to Destroy. And after this message is finished playing, then this message, Atlas Self-Destruct, will start playing. And after this message is finished playing, then that door right there will open up. But this message is not like initially available, so we have to do some trickery to make this message available. And once this message is available, then we can do some more trickery to make it finish playing early. Which it sounds kind of confusing, but it's actually really simple, and I'll show you. I'll show you how it works. So here we are. We want this door to open up, and we're going to play those two radio messages. And as we can see, only A Time to Destroy is available. So we're going to click that, and then we're going to skip past this dialogue by playing that dialogue. And then after that happens, you get this message where it starts out with, what? This message that's currently playing, after this message is done, then that door will open. But we don't actually have to listen to it. What we can do is we can go right back into our radio messages and just play any one except for this. So, Andrew Ryan, A Time to Destroy. And then this door will be open for us. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like fast. Okay, so here we go. We'll drop down here, go into our menu. We're going to play that message, then play this message, escape. Then we're going to go back into our menu and play this message. Now that door is open. That's it. That's as simple as it is. Okay, so I kind of explained how we're going to warp out of this level after a certain amount of dialogue is played. Well, once we get into this room, this cutscene starts playing, and then it like finishes up all the dialogue. It just gets past all the dialogue, and then it warps us out of the level. So now we're going back to Hephaestus. But what's happened is we've triggered that cutscene. So normally, when that cutscene plays, it like locks you into that room, and you just have to sit there and listen to the cutscene. But we can skip past that. So as soon as it lets you, we're going to go back to RCC. And now we can do some trickery to just walk past the cutscene, whereas normally we'd be locked in place and we wouldn't be able to just skip it. So we're going to get ready to do a fling. So there's kind of two ways you can do this. If you have a high enough amount of frames, if your computer is nice enough, you can grab those anti-personnel rounds right here, and you can jump over the barrier that we need to jump over. Now, the nice thing about these anti-personnel rounds is that you don't really have to wait for them to face a certain way, because it's a round object, so it doesn't really matter. And you'll see in a second why that matters. The only thing is that it's kind of a little tougher to do it with these anti-personnel rounds. You need some good frames to make it happen. Otherwise, sort of the easier way to do it is with this napalm. You'll just get an easier jump, but you have an annoying thing where you sort of have to wait for this napalm to rotate a certain way. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So make sure when you get maybe around to this point that you have some full health. You just don't want to die after doing this fling. Okay, so here we go. As you can see, this is the room that we walked into where the cutscenes started playing, and it warped us backwards. And it's now locked and we can't get through it. However, we can jump over the top of this by doing a fling. The way we're going to do that is by placing either the machine gun rounds or this napalm right here. And you want it to be like sort of just on this side of that line. So where I have it placed right now is pretty much good. So like I said, with the machine gun rounds, you can just place it right there and you're good to go. With a napalm, you have to wait till it rotates to where it's straight like this. If it's sideways, you're just not going to get the right kind of height to jump over it. Like if it's like this, it just won't work. So you want to make sure it's nice and up and down straight like this. That's pretty good. Okay. So wait till it kind of bumps you up like that, and then just make a quick save. And now the way that we want to do this jump is weird. You have to almost run off of this thing. You're going to run and jump, and you're going to want to wait till your reticle is sort of like right about here before you actually start using telekinesis. You need to delay your telekinesis for a second. You just have to, otherwise you won't get up and over this thing correctly, and I'll kind of show you. So if I try to do it like normally, we hop and we don't quite make it. But if you run forward and then use telekinesis, like after you've sort of jumped forward a little bit, you can make it over. So it's kind of a weird hop. It's kind of an annoying, one of the tougher ones to make in the game, just because you got that weird little barrier you have to hop through. But there you go. And as I said, so we've already entered this room and triggered the cutscene. Normally you'd have to sit here and wait for Andrew Ryan to talk, and this door right here would be locked and we couldn't get through it. Since we warped out of the level and we've made our way back in by flinging over that gate, we can just walk through. However, it locks you in place and then triggers the cutscene once you get through this door. Now what we can do is sort of like we did earlier in the run. We can make a save here, a hard save, not a quick save, and then load the save that we just made.
Stop.
And then after a second, we can run this way and just move on with the level. And insert the key into the machine here.
Familiar phrase.
Now this is a little flashback cutscene that we have to watch. And after this cutscene is done, there's going to be a lot of dialogue that Fontaine just kind of blathers on for a while. But we can just do a couple of audio diary skips and just get past all this dialogue. This door won't open until this dialogue is finished, but we're going to go do one audio diary skip, and then you have to exit back out to the game, and then the next message will start playing. And we can skip past that message too, and then the door opens up. And we're going to walk on out of here. So it's a pretty short, quick, kind of easy level. I don't know, it's kind of like an annoying trick or two, but that is it. And we go down this way, fall into the little sister booby trap, And that's it for this level. So there you go. That's RCC. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And we will catch you guys on the next video.